Very good morning to all of you. So I am also a part of liver physiology lab under the mentor of Dr. Sareen. So we are having a core area of research where we are trying to identify, develop and validate a therapeutic target for portal hypertension and liver fibrosis. To develop this targeted therapies, what we are using some preclinical models, hepatic cell biology we are studying, hepatic tissue extracellular matrix, some tissue biofabrication work, which all are contributing to the drug development and delivery system. So these are research tools that we are using, preclinical models. So we have more than 12 models we have published with different clinical characteristics model. We are doing it by the hemodynamic assessment and molecular and cellular investigations. We are also doing the hepatic cell biology using primary hepatocytes and HSC and L6. Even the primary hepatic organoids we are developing from the patient as well as the experimental models. In addition, we are doing the in silico drug library, data mining and drug repositioning and repurposing system. We have developed a software where we can use and identify some target which can be further validated for the clinical studies. We are not focused only on the dynamic component like the blood or the cells. We are also focused on the matrix system where we are studying the composition of the matrix of the cirrhotics and the healthy. So these are the models that will characterize for the evidence cirrhosis and portal hypertension using the toxins and the surgical induction. And we do some in vivo assessment for the non-invasive and invasive method, so we can monitor all the hemodynamic parameters in these experimental animals.
Just explain previous one, the animal model.
Yeah.
What you are doing, you have so much data on this.
So actually we have developed all these models and we are characterizing by the cannulation of the portal vein directly with the ileocholic vein through the polyethylene catheter 50 as we inserted here, and we can monitor the portal pressure directly. Along with that, we can place 2-3 different ultrasound based flow probe around the perivascular of the mesenteric artery or mesenteric flow, even the hepatic artery, and we can monitor all the zonal flow of the animal at the time. Similar things can be done non-invasively just to do the cascade study of the same animal, and that can be done with a new technique that is non-invasive, that is also the ultrasound-based transonic profile, and this is going to give you the complete hemodynamic profile of the experimental settings. So this is the additional we are going to use this experimental model to identify some drug targets. So we have developed a drug library on the basis of upstream strategy of when we develop these models, we study the pathogenesis of these models, and to identify the pathway which are dysfunctional.
Sorry, Dinesh, can you go to the first slide, the animal model? Yeah. Can you read out so that the clinicians can know what are the animal models of?
Okay, so here, sir, we have.
Explain what are these models.
So portal hypertension models, we have a non-cirrhotic and cirrhotics. Actually, I am not taking too much time to explain because I have already explained the slides in 2-3 times. So we have already well-characterized model of the portal hypertension with and without cirrhosis, induction of the endotoxin models for non-cirrhotic and some other PPWL model for the prehepatic collision model. SLF model we have developed after the in background of liver cirrhosis. Now I'm going to detail about the POPH model in my coming slides. We have developed a new model of the portopulmonary hypertension in HPS. We have also developed the PHX model, that is a hepatic resection model, almost 30% to the ahepatic condition we can develop in the animals. NFLD and NASH model we have well characterized and published. SCC model we are working on it. So this strategy we are using when we are able to characterize these models, and we know the pathogenesis and the pathway involved in the pathogenesis of liver disease. So once we identify this pathway, we can target this pathway with some strategy using upstream. We can target the pathway upstream, or main target, that molecule is directly involved, or maybe downstream target, the downstream effector molecule, or maybe the end effector molecule, which is going to be affected by the upregulation or dysregulation of these pathways. So for that, what we need experimental data that we generate from the experimental animals, and from the patient samples also we can generate these characteristics because this patient is well characterized. We can get this information. Doing some mathematical modeling, we can identify the targets. This target further can be validated by the target-oriented or drug repositioning, whether we can find a new molecule or we can repurpose some existing drug. And also this modeling can explain you if the drug is already available, we can find out what is the existing mechanism of action of this drug. So this is a whole strategy what we develop. As I explained, we can find out the upstream strategy, downstream and effector strategy for any drug. And also, we are not limited on the drug of the pathway only. We can target even the cell. Or like in our case, we are using the hepatic stellate cells, endothelial cell. So this molecule, we can have a predictive value whether this molecule is going to work on the hepatic stellate cell or any endothelial cell or any extrahepatic cells. In our case, we have constrained with these parameters only because our area is the development for the drug for the portal hypertension and fibrosis. But this can be done in any system. In addition, if we are using the drug repurposing, what we can find and what information we can get from here, the route of administration of this molecule, and whether this molecule is approved or not, and we can utilize this information for our drug development condition. And this drug can be, if this drug is already for administration for the different clinical condition, we have that information about it here, and this can be also we can assess the novelty by doing some prior research for the cirrhosis and fibrosis. So we know what we are doing that is going to be actually novel work, or they are just like doing some research on the existing molecule. So I'm giving one example of one study that we're using this strategy to find out a new therapeutic target for the cirrhosis. So NR41 is a pathway which is known for the orphan nuclear receptor, which is known ligands. And we found the first time this pathway is upregulated both in clinical sample as well as experimental sample. So we found out during the study of pathogenesis, this pathway is correlating with the pathogenesis of liver disease. So inactivation of this pathway we identified at different molecular experimental settings, and we are able to observe this pathway has dysregulated. So what we thought, can we modulate this pathway to overcome with the disease condition? So there was some options, because this pathway is orphan nuclear receptor, so there is no or limited molecules are available. So the option was whether we can develop a new drug, we can identify new molecule, or we can repurpose the existing drug. So as I explained, we can use these tools for any condition, and these tools we got this fenitinide, which is a known all-trans retinic acid derivative, and this can be used to regulate this pathway. This information we can get from the drug library system, and we utilize the information to develop this molecule for the preclinical use. So there was some limitation with this molecule. This molecule cannot be given in the naked form. So in collaboration with our team, we have developed nanomicelles where this molecule was encapsulated, and this was suitable for delivery for the systemic, whether it can be given to oral or the intravenous. So I'm giving a small set of data where you find, first we treat this experimental animal that we have developed initially, and we give this molecule for 2 to 3 weeks, and we identify whether they have some significant change in the hemodynamic parameters or not. We observed there was significant reduction in the portal pressure, hepatic vascular resistance, and systemic mesenteric blood flow. So we are able to show this data, and on the basis of these findings, we went to analyze different mechanism of this molecule at cellular and molecular, and what we got, this molecule is having a similar effect like the known agonist, that is cytosporin B. We compare our finding molecule from the drug library with the existing molecule, and we observed there's a similar finding we have. But what was the beauty of this molecule was already clinically proved, so we can utilize this molecule for the clinical purpose. And when we use this molecule, we got this information. This molecule has a different mechanism of the hepatic stellate deactivation, which further leads to improvement in the portal pressure and reduction in fibrosis. This study was recognized by the American meeting last year and awarded for the fellowship. We are not limited only to the drug delivery. We know there is a certain limitation for the delivery of the drug or any small molecule in the cirrhotic condition. So we have developed some delivery system targeted to the hepatic stellate cell or the extracellular matrix, because we know in the experimental or in the cirrhotic condition, there is a lot of extracellular matrix deposition is there. So we can target any delivery, whether this is small molecule or drug. So we have developed the RGD peptide based, and this is the tri-amino acid sequence, principally integrating to the domain bind with the extracellular matrix. So anything using this setup, we can utilize to deliver any molecule or a small drug to the experimental animal. First, we analyze the biodistribution of this molecule, and also we check the efficacy, whether our distribution is going to the right place, right cells, right target, and what is this efficacy. So we observe at a molecular level, they have a significant reduction for the molecule that we have targeted. And not only the significant reduction, we also analyze the clinical utility or clinical efficacy of this molecule. We can see particularly in this case, we got there is a aggravation of the fibrosis and aggravation of the portal hypertension. So we have tried to knock those one pathway using this strategy, and we found this pathway as playing major role in the development of fibrosis. This was further aggravated. So this strategy can be used. In addition, as we are working on the development of new models of the complication of portal hypertension cirrhosis, so new models we have developed. We try to develop the portopulmonary hypertension. We know that mean arterial pressure of the pulmonary system is more than 25 is considered as the portopulmonary hypertension. What are the limitations? The liver transplantation has the better survival rate other than any drug. So there is no animal model, unclear pathophysiology, and no available drug. So this was the question that we found, and we tried to answer. We identify the new molecule. For that, we have to first understand the pathophysiology. In human samples, we have limited access for the human samples, so we cannot understand actually the molecular pathology. So we just try to develop animal model considering three different aspects, how this liver disease can contribute in the portal remodeling of portal complications. So we consider the hyperdynamic circulation, portal systemic shunts, and the alteration of the intrahepatic microenvironment. These all three contributory factors can change the remodeling in the pulmonary system. So first we develop the animal models. This is a new model, first time we develop this using the known molecule which induce normally the pulmonary arterial hypertension. We have developed in the background of cirrhosis with or without hypoxia, and then we did the right heart catheterization with the Miller catheter, and we are able to monitor whether this right ventricular systolic pressure was changed or not. So we found in the Cimexitinib, which was the control as the experimental control, and in cirrhotic animal we found the significant raise of the systemic right ventricular systolic pressure, which is giving a clue this animal is having the portopulmonary hypertension because this was a liver disease background. The similar finding was we have validated with the non-invasive method with 2D echo in the small animals. And after that molecular and serial cellular analysis, we are able to identify there is a sequence of molecules which are contributing. So key players is developing more both in the liver as well as lung. So this pathway can be targeted to treat the portopulmonary hypertension, and we'll further utilize this drug library system for this. Another model that we are developing for the liver regeneration, that is almost we have developed from 30 to more than 95% of the resection in the animal models. And these animal models can be utilized to meet certain objectives where we need like 30% or 50% or 70%. Mostly the 70% is widely accepted for the hepatic regeneration that we are developing and we are utilizing. So these tools, this model we are utilizing to doing bile acid study profiling to know what are the bile acid, how they're contributing in the regeneration, so we can identify, because bile acid is known for the bile acid derivative already are used in the clinic. So we can identify new bile acid derivative which can potentiate the regeneration. So we are in search of this molecule. So we apply this strategy, and this can be done in a different way also. We can identify different molecules. We have listed out the different molecules in the peripheral and portal system, as Dr. Samnit already explained about this study. So we are not limited our study only on the preclinical models. We are also developing a device whether we can use the preclinical settings, that is a liver on chip. So what is the liver on chip? Liver on chip is the multicellular, multi-channel, 3D microfluidic based dynamic cell culture system, where we can use this culture system, the cell culture system in the dynamic condition under the certain flow. And what we can do with this liver on device system, we can study the disease mechanism, we can investigate the toxicity and testing, also the Banter information, metabolism and excretion of the drug, and we can identify the drug targets, and this can be used for the personalized medicine. So this is the experimental settings. What we need for this, we have already the hepatocyte and all the hepatic cells in 2D and 3D environment. We have this setting research, we have developed this liver on chip mimicking system. And what we are going to use further, we are going to use the biosensor electrochemical sensing device, which can sense what is the microenvironment of the chip. This is our cell culture system we have already characterized from the both experimental and experimental animals and the human. And then this can be scaled up to the liver on system. So this is just a brief how this liver on chip systems are working in our condition. So whatever the condition, the cells we are plating here, this can be patient material or this can be experimental animals. And this can be done with a unidirectional flow, because flow is very important for any tissue. So we are trying to maintain this flow using this liver on chip system. So what we are doing, we are casseting all the cells just to try to mimic the hepatic sinusoids. Once we have the experimental setting, the exact hepatic sinusoid, we can further investigate whether this can be ethanol or any insert. This can be coming through the systemic circulation to these cells. So these are the area that we are working, and already we are into this development of liver device. And this device can be used by the patient biopsy to scale up this biopsy, small biopsy, without compromising their diagnosis. And this small biopsy portion can be scaled up using this device for the clinical evaluation of the drug testing, personalized medicine, or toxicity, or any adverse or any reactions of the drug. Thank you.